Okay, am I live? Can't tell. I can never tell. I have no idea. Well, I hope I'm live. I'm so confused by streaming on YouTube. I just don't know how it works. Oh well, we'll figure it out eventually. I'll assume that I'm live because it says I'm live. And yeah, I'll just kind of continue. So yeah, today we're just oh, what's going on? Oops, I may have messed up. Hang on. Uh-oh. 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 What happened? Okay, there we go. We're fine. Everything's good. Yeah. Oh, sorry, I was just moving the window a little bit there. Alright, we're gonna continue our little battle mode challenge. It's been a while since I last streamed. And the reason for that is because I kind of got distracted by a certain Tears of the Kingdom. And yes, we are going to continue with our usual scuffed quality for everything because that's just how I feel. I don't really I don't really want to set things up. Not taking things super seriously here. In fact, I'm not even playing well. I don't even know what I'm doing. It's actually been quite a while since I last played this. I literally haven't played this since, well, basically since I made that short that I uploaded, the World Peace short. The one where I managed to end up in a state where none of the CPUs were attacking me anymore. So the battle just kind of went on forever. Pretty interesting. I'm pretty sure. Well, I've done that like a couple of times, but never like on accident and never on Pipe Plaza before. So yeah, that was pretty cool. Also, that was a lot of damage right there. That was like 3 people losing a balloon at the same time there. That's pretty good. I should go after someone in particular. Since I have red shells. I'll just go after Peach and maybe Toad? Or I'll defend, I guess. Alright, that worked out. But yeah, I kind of felt like streaming today just because I'm finally at a point in Tears of the Kingdom. I am going for 100% because that's just how I am. I always go for 100%. But I'm finally at a point where the game isn't like so addictive anymore. And I'm honestly kind of surprised at just how addicting I found Tears of the Kingdom. Considering I didn't really find Breath of the Wild that addicting. Like I found it fun for sure, but it wasn't like a game that really stuck with me so much. But this game was different. It was hitting different. I don't really know exactly why. I guess there's more stuff to do and there's more like sandboxy elements, and I kind of like those, even though it doesn't feel very like Zelda-y in a way. But I really like, you know, just like, well, I don't know if I would say I like building stuff in the game, but I like seeing other people's creations in the game and like trying to build stuff like that and then failing. Because the build system is kind of, I don't know, it's kind of bad, I would say. Like, it's very hard to be precise and get things to work the way you want them to. I don't know, maybe it's not that bad if you're like used to it. Maybe if you're like an actual engineer, it's actually not so bad. But for someone like me who has like no engineering background, it's just like, I just found it really hard to work with. And I know some other people have that sort of complaint as well. And like, not all the UI choices were particularly conducive to doing things efficiently, or easily even, so it kind of is what it is. But I enjoyed the game regardless. and I'm not done with it because I'm doing 100% like legit without duping glitches or anything like that. Mostly because I kind of when I first started playing the game, I was kind of in the mindset of, okay, like how do I want to play this? I will either play this, you know, with glitches and just kind of messing around with stuff, having as much fun as I can that way, or I will just play the game exactly as intended. And once I start on one path, I'm not going to switch to the other. So initially, I actually wanted to play the game with glitches and do like the Master Sword smuggling glitch, where you can get the Master Sword from the prologue. But in the end, I decided not to do that because they patched the game very shortly before I could do that glitch. So yeah, I did look up how to do that early on because I was kind of when I first got the game, I was annoyed that they brought back stuff like durability and stuff like that. A lot of those systems I didn't really like in Breath of the Wild, and I still don't really like them now. I thought it'd be fun to circumvent that. Also, what the heck happened with the sound there? That was weird. But yeah, like, they patched the game very shortly before I started playing, and they patched out that glitch, so I was like, oh, never mind. I guess I'm not playing the game with duping glitches and stuff. And I know that they still exist. There are duping glitches, but at that point I was just kind of like, eh. The part that I was most interested in was having a Master Sword with infinite durability, or like any kind of weapon with infinite durability, because I think the durability system is probably my least favorite part of the game. But I decided to just suck it up and play the game as intended. And I mean, it's been fun. I'm probably gonna talk about spoilers, so you know, here's your warning. If you don't want spoilers for Tears of the Kingdom, I'm probably gonna start talking about spoilers at some point. Probably when we get to a map that's a little less intense, like, I don't know, Nintendo DS. Now, that's a map where I don't have to use as much brain power, I can just kind of sit there and think. Or not think. Oh. No! I wanted to combo him! I had the mushrooms! Oh, really? Hopefully that didn't peak. I don't have like a limiter on because I was finding with the limiter it was cutting out my voice a lot. I don't know. I don't really know how to do my audio setup correctly. And I'm also not really trying to make it perfect right now. I'll learn eventually. I'll actually spend the time to learn, but for now I just don't really want to. Oh, shoot. Well, so much for that. I kind of want to get some value out of this, but I don't know if I can. It's kind of risky. Oh god, what am I doing? I'm gonna blow up a balloon. Chickening out. Sorry. I wanted to get more value out of these mushrooms, but I don't think I can do it. Yeah, as you can probably hear in my background, I have the air conditioner going because it's pretty darn hot, so, you know. And I have one of those portable air conditioners that's like really loud. So it's not great, it's not ideal, but you know, I don't want to die. But yeah, I will talk about Tears of the Kingdom a little bit more later, probably. When I feel more comfortable doing so. Dang, I really wanted to get back up this fake item into Mario there, but he just barely dodged it. Ooh, this could be a combo actually, if I play my cards right. It's kind of tricky though. Should I go for Peach? No, we're going for Peach. Okay, not a combo, but that's fine. She had 3 balloons anyway, so she wouldn't have died. Yeah, I also wanted to talk about like other plans that I have, um, in terms of streaming or whatever the heck I'm gonna do with the channel. Spoilers, I don't really have like a ton of plans. I'm kind of just doing things on a whim. Like right now, the only reason why I'm streaming is because I was having a tough time falling asleep, and I don't know, I was just kind of annoyed by stuff that happened at work. I don't really want to talk about it because I don't really like having that kind of like negative vibe on my stream. Like when I watch other people stream and they start ranting about stuff and they get like really like upset about something, it's never really like fun to watch. I don't know. It just kind of makes you feel icky watching it. I don't know. At least that's how I feel. I think other people appreciate like the honesty and they kind of like relate to it. Like yeah, like I hate evil corporations and blah 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 and stuff like that. You know. Like I get that. And I guess I will say that part of the reason why I'm not exactly happy with what happened at work is sort of related to that sort of thing, but I don't really want to get into it, so I'm just gonna stop talking about it. Because I don't want that kind of vibe. Alright, there's not that many people left here. Let's try and finish this off. Did I lose my banana? Did I just lose that banana entirely, or did I hit Mario at least with it? I think I hit Mario. I'm not sure. I know I got hit by Yoshi there, but I was just like, I'm on 3 balloons, it's fine. Like, 3 balloons is not really a great position. I hate this map so much. This is probably my... I don't know if this is my least favorite map. I think it is my least favorite map. God, just get an item, please. Please, anything. Get anything. Touch an item box. I have to be more careful while actually lining myself up with these. Not like that. Alright, okay, fine. I'll take it slow. I'll play it super safe. Oh god, really? Okay, at least the red shell didn't hit me or anything. Yeah, I find it really annoying to hit the end boxes. I mean, it is a skill issue. You just have to be very precise with your angle. That's all it takes. So I'm not mad about that or anything. I don't like this map mostly because you're very vulnerable in this map. Like anytime you make a jump, you're committed to it, right? Oh damn it! I wasn't able to burn all the mushrooms in time. That kind of sucks. Oh well. But yeah, you're so vulnerable when you're landing that sometimes it just feels kind of cheap. Like a CPU just hits you as you're landing. That's why I try not to jump through the middle too much. I mean, I'm doing it a lot right now because I'm sort of not really thinking. But when the match gets intense and there's like lots of red shells everywhere, it gets pretty difficult to survive. This is definitely one of the more intense maps, I would say. In that sense, it's kind of fun, but also takes the longest to play through, I feel. I'm gonna go after Mario here because he's one balloon, and I kind of need to take him out. It's kind of the goal. The goal is always to take out the person with the fewest balloons, just because they'll get the better items, and once they start getting better items, and you have a bunch of CPUs with better items, then you're in trouble. So yeah, I just don't want that to happen. Can I get this kill? Okay, cool. Nice. Alright, so far it hasn't been too intense. RNG has been favorable. There are times where like every CPU will have a red shell behind them and there's like nothing you can do. Those are the scariest matches. I hate those. Yeah, now we're on the chill map, where we don't have to worry too much about stuff going wrong or bad. Just kind of fire red shells all day. Ooh, insta-kill. That's what I'm looking for. See, that's the kind of combo I'm looking for. Red shell into mushroom. Instantly kill Mario. But anyway, yeah, let's just hole up here for a bit, since this is that kind of map. So, yeah, if you wait here, I think I may have shown this off last time. I probably did. But if you just sit here in this corner, CPUs are generally pretty bad at hitting you here. Their attacks usually miss. Sometimes they'll hit you if they take a particular line. There's like 2 different angles they can hit you from. But otherwise, usually you're pretty safe here. Yeah, that was one particular angle. I had that not positioned correctly for that, unfortunately. If I had triple bananas, that would have been a lot safer, actually. Or if I just taken out the green shell and just sat on it in the right spot. But yeah, I didn't do that, so oh well. Can I get in here? I kind of want to. This is sort of tricky. Sorry, I was gonna chat about stuff, but this is actually not ideal for that. But you can also bait attacks from the lower floor. So right there, DK tried to attack me, but he hit Toad instead, and that's really nice. So you can just basically sit here and watch the CPUs kill themselves for the rest of the match. It's kind of fun, but also maybe a little bit boring. Maybe a little bit boring to watch. Ah, okay, never mind. I think the banana is just not in a good position at this point. I'm already like way out of position, so I guess I'll destroy it and try again. Okay, this is fine. I'll sit here with a green shell shield. Alright, so yeah, let's talk about plans for the channel. So one thing that was really interesting that caught my eye recently, and I mean, if you know me at all, or if you watch this channel, like some of the older stuff that I did, I guess everything on this channel is older stuff at this point, but I did play a ROM hack, a Mario 64 ROM hack called Last Impact several years ago, and yeah, I generally really like ROM hacks. I like a lot of retro games because, well, as you can tell, I'm playing a retro game right now, but I find a lot of retro games more fun than modern games, which are generally kind of dumbed down a lot. Especially like if you look at modern, like even like modern Zelda games like Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, the puzzles are a lot easier than they used to be. Like you don't have the crazy like key logic that Ocarina of Time Water Temple had. Like they don't have the. I feel like they don't have the guts to do that kind of thing anymore these days because there's too many casuals in the audience now. I kind of wish when games weren't just like, oh, they have good combat, but also good puzzles. Like you have stuff like Dark Souls and Hollow Knight, which have really like interesting combat and platforming, or I guess I don't know. Is Elden Ring or like are like Dark Souls type games that interesting combat wise? I think some people would definitely say so, but I feel like a lot of it is just like dodge rolling too at the right time. I don't know. But yeah, I just kind of wish that more games had like challenging puzzles that actually made you kind of have to think and like strategize more on top of like good combat and good platforming. Good platforming where applicable. Like not every game has to be a platformer. But that's kind of what I wish more games were like these days, and yeah, that's kind of why I play a lot of retro games. But then once I've played an old game, I don't really want to play the same game over and over again. I've never really been that interested in like speedrunning for that reason. I kind of get bored. So yeah, that's why ROM hacks are always fun. And F3 2023 happened recently. I know it's for fan games and ROM hacks, but you know, I consider them sort of in the same boat. It's sort of like, you know, more of the stuff that you really like. Um, and it's rather than like, you know, what studios are doing these days where they try to, you know, reinvent or not well, yeah, not reinvent the wheel. They're trying to like reinvent their franchises and stuff. You know, like how Final Fantasy is not turn-based anymore. Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom are, you know, super different from the traditional Zelda format. And like for me, I'm just not tired of that stuff. So like for me, fan games and ROM hacks are just really cool. So I always tune into F3 every year whenever that's run. And one particular ROM hack that really caught my eye was actually the one that they showed right at the start. Paper Mario 1000-Year Door 64. That one looks really cool. I actually really want to play that. Oh nice, they've created a nice little barrier for me. But yeah, like, at first I actually wasn't gonna play that ROM hack, because I saw TTYD 64 in like its earlier stages of development, and I was like, you know, that's neat. Like, I like the badge system from TTYD, as broken as it is. It's a lot of fun. Like, you can do a lot of fun and silly builds with TTYD's badge system. And I'm not really a huge fan of stuff like super guards, because it kind of feels like it takes away from like the RPG aspect of the game and a lot of the strategy. Like, you can just kind of mitigate it by just super guard everything, right? Forehead. But once I saw that they added like a bunch of new areas and stuff, like, I don't know, that kind of sold me on it, because new and modified areas just sounds like a lot of fun. Also, I was kind of getting bored. I wanted to get another item and maybe start finishing some people off here. Bowser? Okay, Bowser, not quite ready. See if I can land this shot. There we go, nice. Let's see if I can kill Bowser here. But yeah, TTYD 64, definitely on my list of stuff to play, and stuff that I want to stream on the channel. Because I was thinking, like, I don't know, I could play it on my own. I play a lot of games on my own. That's kind of generally how I prefer to play games these days, rather than, like, recording them or whatever. I know that the Let's Play format is, I wouldn't say, like, completely dead or anything, but it's largely, you know, unpopular relative to, you know, streaming and doing like highlight reels. But yeah, I just kind of felt like, you know, TTYD 64 sounds like a game I want to try maybe doing a live stream of, just because. Just because it looks interesting and I kind of want to play it, and yeah, it just seems neat. It just seems like a lot of fun, and hopefully I'll enjoy streaming it. I don't enjoy recording / streaming every game. Like, I realized when I did Breath of the Wild that recording that wasn't exactly the most fun experience in the world. I didn't really like that, and I don't think it was very interesting to watch either. So I would never play like a big open world game like that on stream ever again, or recorded ever again. Like, I just don't find that very interesting. But a game like TTYD 64, that sounds like something kind of fun, and I'm willing to give that a try. Something else I was thinking of looking at was, I heard there's a Maze of Gallius remake being made by the creators of La Mulana, and that sounded really interesting because I like Maze of Gallius for the most part. Maze of Gallius is an old game. If you don't know, it's like a Konami game released on like the MSX. It was actually pretty fun, and it kind of reminds me of I hate to say it, but it kind of reminds me of Breath of the Wild in a lot of ways. Like, it's sort of open world, but also, like, linear in the sense that you have to beat dungeons in a particular order. But there's no, like, progression items. There's items that you can collect in the overworld. Um, Actually, there might be a couple of progression items, but most of the items are optional. They just make your character a little bit stronger, or, you know, they give you new abilities, which I thought was cool. Okay, let's try and finish this off. Okay, that didn't work out. That's unfortunate. Okay, Wario dropped himself off the cliff, so he's dead. I love it when the CPUs drive off the edge with the mushrooms. It's just so silly to me. What was I talking about? Maze of Galleys, yeah. If the remake ever comes out, I think I'll play it. I might stream it. Because Maze of Galleys was actually pretty fun. There are parts of it that are not good. At least the original. Like, I would say the mid-game, like, a few of the dungeons are kind of stinkers. They're not so well designed. Like, there's this dungeon where you have to literally, like, sit by, or you have to stand still near some, like, a pool of water, and then platforms appear, but, like, nothing tells you that's what you're supposed to do. And I really hated that. That was probably one of the worst parts of the game for me. And some of the dungeons require you to kill, like, random arbitrary enemies in a certain room in order for, like, a ladder to spawn in some other room, like, way off. On the opposite side of the map, so yeah, those dungeons kind of sucked, but like once you get into the later dungeons, that becomes less of an issue. You kind of know what to expect at that point, and also the dungeon design I think got a little bit better. I don't know, but they had less of that kind of annoying stuff in like the late game dungeons. So overall, I'd say pretty enjoyable game for an old game. And I'm looking forward to seeing how they do the remake. That sounds like a lot of fun to me, at least. We also kind of camp on this map here, on this corner. This is a fairly safe corner, because you can just block stuff from behind. Like, there are more avenues that CPUs have to attack you from, but I would say generally standing at like this corner, pretty safe. So yeah, Maze of Galleys, definitely want to give that a try when the remake comes out, because I like the original. I'm not like a super fan of the original like some people are, but yeah, I'd say it was fun enough. Another series I was thinking of trying is the Mother series, so I don't actually know much about it. Like, I obviously know about like Earthbound from Smash Brothers, and like Mother 3 exists and like isn't translated or whatever, and people are constantly like asking for Mother 3 when, or like Mother 4, I don't know. But yeah, that's something I was interested in maybe trying out on stream. I don't know. I'll see. I'm not totally sure. I'm not totally sure about that. Like, I've seen a playthrough of Earthbound, and I thought it was pretty cool. But I don't really know much about the series, and like getting like the appropriate translation patches and stuff. Also, I don't really understand like how it's structured. Like, is Earthbound the second one? I could have gone a combo there. I wasn't thinking. I could have ended Mario's entire existence right there. That's unfortunate. I did not press the mushroom button fast enough. But yeah, like, is Earthbound the second title in the series? I think that's my understanding of it, and no one ever talks about the first one, like Mother 1, I feel, if that's the case. Which makes me wonder, is it worth playing Mother 1? I know people like Earthbound and Mother 3, but yeah, I don't really know too much about the series other than that. But yeah, I watched a playthrough of Earthbound like a long time ago, and I thought it was pretty cool, but I've forgotten a lot of the details of the game. So I felt like maybe that would be a cool series to try and play. But yeah, I don't know. That's sort of a maybe. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just kind of driving around at this point, like the CPUs. I have become a CPU. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just driving in circles. Alright, should we go for some smoke here? Should we try and oh, that was kind of nasty. Wasn't expecting Mario to come up like that with the star. Going for the star. Yeah, what I was gonna try and do was maybe like run into Yoshi's red shell and try to prevent him. So like when I have 3 balloons like this, I don't really want to be on 3 balloons because I get worse items, generally speaking. But I have a mushroom, so I can get like another balloon back. So what you can do is if you run into a CPU's item, especially if they're holding like a red shell, you can kind of like disarm them. It's kind of tricky to do sometimes. It depends on like what items they're holding as well. Like they have to be holding an item they can drag behind them in their inventory while they have an item currently out at the same time. And if those conditions are met, then you can kind of disarm the CPU and they will never attack you for the rest of the game until they get hit again. So like, okay, so Yoshi, for example. I'm going to try and do this to Yoshi. We'll see if we get a good roll here. Yeah, if I do that, I hurt myself. It looks stupid. Okay, never mind. I just killed him. Alright, I didn't get to demonstrate it, but if I did that successfully and no one had attacked Yoshi, he would have actually just gone the entire match without attacking anyone anymore. He would not have pulled out his next item. So you can sort of like effectively, like sort of take an opponent out of the match semi-permanently by doing that, and that's how I managed to create the world peace scenario. That just kind of happened on accident. But you can actually very much intentionally create that scenario. You have to be very careful about it because obviously, you know, if they run into like a shell lying on the ground or another CPU attacks them, they'll rearm and they'll start attacking you again. But if you're careful, you can do that on you can kind of do that sort of consistently on larger maps like Block Fort. Like Block Fort is a map where you can definitely set up that scenario sort of artificially. And it's pretty cool, because then the enemies just, you know, stop attacking. I do have a combo here. Okay, I got pushed off, though that kind of sucks. Ooh, kind of risky there. Okay, we're gonna go and try and do this to Toad, then. Since he has a red shell behind him. I'm gonna try and disarm him. Okay, well he's just dead, so that kind of sucks. I mean, that's good for me, but I can't demonstrate what I'm trying to demonstrate at all because of that. But yeah, if you ever notice that the CPU isn't dragging anything behind them, but they have an item in their inventory that they could be dragging behind them, and they aren't attacking, it's because of that glitch, I guess. I don't know. I think it's a glitch in the AI. I think the AI is just not properly programmed to do that. To use their items when you destroy the item that they're currently holding on to. It's kind of neat to kind of figure out like how this game works. I would love to see like a decomp of Mario Kart DS and like look at the actual code, look at the actual internals, and try and understand like how this game's AI works, just to get a better idea. It might help me with survivability as well in battle mode. A lot of the AI behaviors are kind of a mystery to me, and sometimes some weird stuff can happen. Like, I've seen a weird case where the CPU got hit, and then they just stopped moving completely. Like, they weren't attacking, they weren't doing anything. They just sat there, and they did nothing. And I don't know how to recreate that. Like, it happened on Palm Shore for me. It was just like, Mario was just sitting there, and he was doing nothing. He was completely, like, standing still. And you never see CPUs do that in this game, in battle mode. Like, they never just sit there and do absolutely nothing. So that was super weird to me. Alright, this map is kind of a coin toss, I feel. You can kind of play it a little bit safe, sort of, but it's kind of tricky too, as well. Alright, that might be Peach dead. Yes, that is. So yeah, you can get some pretty fast kills on this map, but you can also get killed pretty fast on this map yourself, which is why it's kind of a risky map to play. I like playing this corner, like any of the 4 corners of the map, because you can do some pretty cheesy stuff to CPUs if you're careful. Oh god. That was not good. Yeah, that was really bad. I'm playing a little recklessly here, but I want to get fast kills. Because fast kills just means, you know, easier match overall, long term. But, like, the faster you can kill the CPUs before they start to build up lots of items, the better. Oh man, I'm missing my mushrooms today. It's really bad. Yuck. Playing so bad. I'm playing so bad. This might be the end of the run. Dude, I'm getting destroyed. This is awful. See, when battle mode is going well, it just kind of goes smoothly. You don't really notice, but when it starts going badly, it really starts going badly fast. And yeah, I'm really feeling it now. I gotta focus. Okay, he should be dead. Oh crap! I didn't get to the wall fast enough. I don't have any more balloons. I think I might be dead here. Might actually be dead here. Alright. Be careful. Okay. Him. I'm gonna just pick this item off. Or get rid of that banana. No! Oh god, that was so close! I can't believe I got the insta-kill on Wario. No! Okay, our run is dead. Oh, that was rough. That was rough. That was rough. Alright, give me a second. I gotta update the PB. Yeah, that's what I mean. This map is... It's kind of risky. I was playing really badly there. I wasn't focused. It's been a while since I played as well, so I'm kind of out of practice. But yeah, this map is... Either goes really, really well, really quickly, or it goes like that, and you just die. But yeah, our win streak was 17. Oh well, I tried. But yeah, I'm not done. We're gonna keep going. We're gonna start up another run. You might be wondering, why don't you choose a heavyweight character? And the reason why I don't choose heavyweights is because, I don't know, I feel like they control differently. I tried switching to Wario for a while, and I found myself getting owned. I was just getting owned. I was missing a lot of my mushroom boosts that I was able to normally land as Luigi. So, I think it's mostly just I'm not used to playing another character. I didn't want to relearn. Okay, that's a fast kill, that's good. Alright, I'm gonna try and focus up this time, not get completely wiped out here. Okay, that's a good trade. Or, not really a good trade, but it's okay. It's an okay trade. I mean... Oh, he just killed Yoshi for me, that's good. That worked out. That could have been a kill. Oh man, I didn't want to go that angle. I was too scared. I chickened out. I didn't want to drive off the cliff. I was going for the combo there on Mario because he took damage and that could have been a kill on him. Alright, that's Bowser down. Mario taking more damage. So the bomb. Okay, didn't hit anyone unfortunately. I'll just do this. That should definitely hit someone. Yeah, this banana line is pretty good because sometimes they'll drive into it at a perfect angle and then they'll slide off of like one of these inner corners here and then they'll instantly die. But that didn't happen this time. But you might get multiple hits like that at least, which is better than nothing. Okay, 3 hits. That's good. 3 hits and a disarm. Good. Get out of here, Toad. I could have tried to knock Toad off the edge there, but I wasn't feeling like playing that risky. Actually, it doesn't really matter. This is the start of a run. I can play risky. It's fine. I'll play riskier. I think it's mostly just I'm out of practice. If I was in, if I was not doing a cold open here, I think it would have been a lot cleaner. Last run would have gone a lot further, I feel. I don't know. Oh god. I'll just leave the double bananas here. He'll probably die if he comes around here again. But if not, I'll try and nail him with the green shell. There we go. Now you might be wondering, why don't I play Mario Kart, you know, X? Why don't I play Mario Kart 8? Why don't I play Mario Kart Wii? Or something else instead? Honestly, I like the battle mode of this game the best. I don't know, it just works for me. Truth be told, I don't actually know what the other battle modes are like, or if they're similar. I haven't really played them. I might enjoy Mario Kart 8's battle mode. I don't know. I remember playing Mario Kart Wii's, and the physics just felt so different. I really didn't like it, so yeah, I never really got into it. Also, I don't know if those other games allow you to do like those mushroom combos, or if they have the same kind of like risk-reward system that this game has, where it's like if you're on lower balloons, you get better items, and you get to like choose how many balloons you blow up at the start. Like, I always really like that about this game. Like, it feels like there's a lot of I guess to use a term that, you know, Sakurai uses in his videos on like game development, it has like a lot of game essence, I feel. This might be a short run. This might be a very short-lived run. Okay. Ghost is better to hold on to it and use it as a defensive. Okay, I'm using it. I'm gonna maybe hole up here, because it's just safer. It's only the second match, though. I can throw this run. I can afford to throw the run. It's okay, we can play riskier. I'm gonna play riskier. I don't want a green shell, though. Let me get rid of this. Green shells suck. I was tempted to make like an item tier list for this game's battle mode. Just like do a video about that, but it's not something that I really want to pour the time and effort into when, you know, I have a full-time job and I have other projects to work on. So, I mean, I barely find enough time to like squeeze in to do stuff like this, like streaming or like gaming, so. What else have I been doing? I guess I'll go back to playing Mega Man Battle Network Legacy Collection soon too, because I was playing that before Tears of the Kingdom came out, and I was actually having a lot of fun with that. I did play the originals, not when they released. Like, I played them a lot later. Like, actually, like a year before the Legacy Collection released, I decided on a whim I'd play all the Mega Man Battle Network games in a row. And then the Legacy Collection came out, and I was actually really excited for the online. But then the online ended up being kind of, I don't know, poorly implemented. Maybe not on Switch, but at least on PC, like on Steam. I bought the Steam version because my friend got the Steam version. I wanted to be able to play with him, but like, ooh, we got a strong combo here. Let's try and kill someone if we can. Is Toad on two balloons? He is. So is Yoshi actually. Ah, shoot. But he ran into my. That's so annoying. I really wanted to get the insta kill on someone, but when they just run into your item like that, it's just like, well, what can I really do? Yeah, you can see Yoshi wasn't attacking me there, and that's because, yeah, he kind of glitched out. That is a thing that happens in this game. Yeah, this is another really effective strategy, is just place bananas on bridges. Like, 2 bananas per bridge is enough usually to just prevent CPUs from crossing without taking damage. Like, they can't avoid it. Case in point. It doesn't have to be bananas, it can also be fake items, of course. Another thing you can do with fake items and bananas is place them. You can, if you have like a tiny bit of speed here, like if you just stand still and tap A a little bit and then forward throw, you can pretty much perfectly land a banana on that item on the lower floor, and that's a very good spot to place items as well. Get a lot of damage in that way. Here I'm just gonna try and bait Bowser into attacking. There we go. Ooh, I think that's a dead Donkey Kong, yep. Managed to get the instant kill there, that's good. Someone else set that up for me. Very nice. Green shell, okay. No big deal, I'll just take the hit there. Not getting a ton of good value out of those mushrooms, but at this point we're kind of close to the end of the game, and I think I'm gonna win, so I don't mind doing that. But yeah, I was playing Battle Network Legacy Collection on PC, on Steam, and man, the online is like a ghost town. Like, I know that 6 is like the one that people play the most because it's the best balanced, and it is actually really fun. I have played some PvP matches, but the way that they set up the like lobby system is really, really bad because it's like there's so many different categories that you can be in. Like, you can choose like if you want a single battle, or if you want to do like a best of 3, or like if you want to enable patch cards and stuff, and you're not going to be matched up with other people with different settings, so like, in a way it's nice that you're going to be able to play the format that you want to, but then on the other hand, if everyone's kind of split across all the different formats, then you're not going to play against anybody because you're never going to matchmake. So yeah, it was kind of rough. So yeah, mostly playing Legacy Collection for the achievements and the single player experience. I don't generally play specifically for achievements, I just like to like hundo games. But you know, if I get some achievements along the way, then I don't mind. Sometimes if I'm really enjoying a game, I'll go for all of them. As sort of part of 100%. I think achievements are part of 100% for a lot of games these days, because a lot of games have them like built into them now. So yeah, Legacy Collection is something I'll probably be returning to at some point in the near-ish future, once I'm done with 100% Tears of the Kingdom. I guess now is as good a time as any to talk about like Tears of the Kingdom spoilers while I'm not like super deep into a run. So I guess I'll give some of my thoughts on the game overall, because I enjoyed it a lot. Somehow I enjoyed it a lot more than I expected. I guess Breath of the Wild kind of set me up for low expectations. I didn't really enjoy Breath of the Wild that much. I mean, I thought it was fun for a little while, but the world just kind of felt empty, and I went for 100% of course, and so I did all the Koroks, and the Korok seed puzzles were super repetitive, and I kind of felt like it was an insult that they gave, you know, a golden pile of poop as like the reward for getting all the Korok seeds in that game. I know that's the reward in Tears of the Kingdom as well. It's like an even bigger pile of poop, but at least the game doesn't feel as, I guess, empty. There's those sandbox elements that have kept me hooked, and there's just more to do in general as well. Like, there's more varied objectives. The Korok seed puzzles are a little bit more varied as well, which I appreciate. Although there are more Korok seeds in general, I think there's also a bunch of them where, you know, they give you 2 at a time because of the, cause like the deliver the Korok to this location, and those are kind of neat. They were really annoying. Like, when I was playing through the game, I would see one of those and I'd ignore it because it's like, well, that's going in the complete opposite direction of where I'm headed, so I don't want to do that. So that's one thing I didn't really like about those so much, but otherwise, yeah, I mean, I enjoyed the game. I thought the story was better than Breath of the Wild, I guess. I feel like there's a few things that maybe are a little bit plot holy, like the whole, like those lore tablets that kind of, that are in the sky, kind of talk about how they witnessed like the raising of the Sky Islands and stuff like that. And that kind of conflicts with what happens when, major spoiler, when Zelda becomes a dragon. Like, you can see that she's still like very much on the ground. I suppose it could be explained that maybe they put the Sky Islands back on the ground and then raised them later, or maybe that guy who wrote the tablet, whoever wrote the tablet, saw like a test run or something of the Sky Island technology. I don't know, or maybe they saw like, I don't know what they saw really, but I don't know. There are some things that feel a little bit plot hole, and obviously the whole story is like a, what do you call it, like a causal paradox, where it's like, you know, like where does it exactly begin, right? Or like I don't remember what they call it. It's like a causality issue. Bootstrap paradox? I don't know. Yeah, I thought it was kind of, I don't know, maybe not entirely thought out, or at least like, I don't know, I guess like the paradox thing isn't so much of an issue because they've kind of done this before on like a smaller scale in Ocarina of Time, but I don't know. And as for my reaction to Zelda becoming a dragon, I would say I didn't cry. I mean, I did kind of feel like I did kind of feel like the weight of it. I was like, oh, like damn, like she kind of like sacrificed herself basically. But I didn't cry like I know some people did. I don't know. It wasn't like the most sad story in the world. And it ends happy anyway. I kind of figured that's how it would go because it is a Zelda game. Like, they usually have a happy ending if you know, beat the game. Kind of to be expected. Like, even Majora's Mask, which is probably one of like the darkest Zelda games. I mean, maybe I shouldn't say that because everyone's like, oh no, like this is the darkest Zelda game. Oh no, this one is. I probably shouldn't say that, but you know, it has some pretty, you know, some pretty dark themes and existential dread, but it ends with a pretty happy ending at the end of the day, so, I mean, I don't know. I mean, some people would argue that Ocarina of Time doesn't really have a happy ending because, you know, Link gets sent back in time and nobody knows about his, like, heroic deeds or whatever. he kind of gets like sent back or whatever. And then there's like the downfall timeline or whatever. Okay, let's see if we can kill DK. Nah, we're not killing DK. Unfortunate. I needed to survive that red shell hit, so yeah. I'm gonna try and go after DK though, just because he's my prime target. Oh, really? That hit me? I thought that wouldn't. I thought the angle was off, but it wasn't. Alright, DK's down. Wait, when they load you up with like 4 red shells like that, like you know that everybody in the game has 5 balloons in total. So I think it's 5 balloons. I'm pretty sure it's 5 balloons in total. So like if you're taking off 4 health, they're only gonna have 1 health left, so you can probably finish them off pretty quickly after that. That's kind of my rationale behind like going on the offense like that. Normally I wouldn't, but because I'm doing that much damage, I might as well. Right? Like it's a lot of damage. I want to kill Mario here. Get him out of the game. Give me some defensives here, please. That's good enough. Not good enough. That wasn't good enough. I take it back. Okay, didn't want to run into my shell shield. Fair enough. Respecting it. I'll go on the offensive here, I think. I don't think Yoshi's gonna attack me, is he? He might. Yeah, that's okay. Also, one thing that I think is kind of funny about Tears of the Kingdom, sort of like a random thought, but I thought it was kind of funny that Lookout Landing essentially becomes kind of useless because like they built this like fort getting ready to go to like war with Ganondorf's army or something. Like, why else would they build a fort like right outside Hyrule Castle like that? And yeah, they never really use it. They never actually have to fight anyone. They spend all this time like preparing for battle, and then Link and the gang just, you know, go in there and they beat Ganon up, and then that's it. Or sorry, Ganondorf, I guess. Ah, dang, I missed. I'm gonna have to blow up my last balloon. That's unfortunate. Didn't want to have to do that. I'm trying to kill Bowser here so I can get him out of the game. He's kind of a threat. Yoshi's kind of a threat right now. But I think I might be able to take him out if I'm very careful about how I play this. I was not. Oh, I was not careful. Not careful enough. Let's go for Peach then, because I can't attack Yoshi when he has a shell behind him like that. That's one of the biggest problems with the mushroom, is that you can't really go on the offensive when someone has like a defensive item, otherwise you take damage, which is arguably a lot worse. Oh, that's a bad roll. Uh-oh. Yeah, that's not good. Oh, we're actually in trouble here. Okay, but we survived somehow. Okay, what is she gonna get though here? Bomb. Ooh. She didn't. Okay, so she's. Huh, that was weird. I'm gonna. Should I bait the bomb and then try and go for the mushroom kill? Never mind. I mean, sometimes just things just work themselves out. I don't have to do anything. Don't know how that happened, but I'll take it. That was like, I think this was our first pipe plaza of the day. I'm gonna go after Yoshi here. Alright, I could have gotten another hit in, but I didn't. That's okay. Ooh, another star, really? I tried to get another hit, but I didn't have enough time. You can get 3 hits with a star if you use it perfectly. Well, 3 hits on a single person. More hits if you're attacking a group, which is even better, because then you can do like 5 or 6 damage if you're like attacking 2 different people at the same time usually. There's usually enough time to do that much. It's pretty strong, but the situation has to be just right. But yeah, did a lot of damage there, so people are kind of dropping like flies now, which is good. Kind of what I want. I want people to die. I want them to die fast. Okay, you are not stealing my red shell. Hell no. You know, another thing I was thinking about was... I feel like what would be really cool is a game that's kind of like this, but maybe has more like emphasis on like the combos. Like, I like the mushroom combos, but like there's not a lot of combo variety in this game. Like, maybe a game like this that's more competitive, like built to be competitive, you know? Like, an idea that I had was maybe something like, sort of like a deck builder, where you can choose like what items you roll. Like, you have to choose like a, you have to like create like a set of items that you can pull from the item boxes. So you can kind of have like your own builds, and there'd be like more combo variety as well. Maybe not any like instant kills like this game has, but maybe some way of still doing the same sort of like risk-reward system, where you get to like, you know, sort of like choose how much health you're gonna run with. I don't know, I thought that would be like a really cool idea for a game. I feel like there's someone should make a clone of Mario Kart DS battle mode. I really like it, but I feel like MKDS battle mode has a lot of issues in terms of like balance and stuff. Like, I think the blooper item is completely useless. I think it's basically worthless and shouldn't even be in the game. Like, when you pull that, it's just a waste of your time and there's nothing you can do. If someone's about to attack you and you pull that thing, there's no counterplay. I also think that the big maps are very easy to kind of like circle camp on. It's kind of the same reasoning that people use for like Super Smash Brothers. Like, if the map is too large, you can just kind of circle camp, and then no one can really catch each other, so whoever like gets the first hit in and runs away just kind of wins, which is kind of lame. I feel like this game sort of has that issue, or maybe even like stalemates, right? Where like no one's attacking each other. Like, I feel that kind of situation is very possible. With CPUs, of course, like, that's not going to happen, but against a real opponent, I feel like that's something that could easily happen, so... I feel like this game isn't built to be played competitively or anything like that. Which, you know, makes sense. It's Mario Kart, it's a party game. It's not supposed to be. But I think it'd be cool if there was a game that was similar to this, and actually was, you know, meant to be played competitively. Because I'd totally be down to play that. I would absolutely play that. I would stream it too. Because I really enjoy this game a lot. But yeah, like, more combo variety than just some item plus mushroom would be nice. And don't get me wrong, landing those combos in this game is very satisfying. But I think part of that comes from the fact that they just don't happen all that often. Like, you can get some juicy combos in this game. And sometimes, like, when you just do a ton of damage. Like, there was one time where I threw a bomb into like a crowd of CPUs, and then I hit them all with a mushroom, and that instantly killed like 3 CPUs. Like, to me, that was super satisfying, just seeing like 3 CPUs die all at once at the beginning of a match, like within the first 20 seconds. Like, that's very satisfying. However, it does feel a little bit cheesy. You know, like it's kind of like, I don't know, instant kills maybe not the best way of making the game. I don't know. Like maybe a game with more HP than just like 3 would be good. Or maybe a game where you have like multiple lives. It's sort of like more score based, like you're trying to get as many kills as possible. Because I mean, like, there are games where you die fast, like Call of Duty, right? And the way they do scoring there is you just have to reach a score limit. So like, that's an idea, I would say. Yeah, anyway, just kind of tossing my my wish list of ideas for a Mario Kart DS battle mode, like. Like, I know it's such like a specific subgenre of game, but that's kind of what I want to see. Because I really enjoyed this game and this particular mode, and basically nothing else about this game. I mean, the single player is fine too, don't get me wrong. I used to play like the races a lot. Not just single player even, but with friends. Like on an old high school band trip where we all went down to San Francisco. We would play Mario Kart DS, and this game in particular was fun because you can snake and it's super rewarding. And I remember people back then would always complain about snaking and how it was like unfair or it was cheating or it was just like, I don't know, like it was lame. It was like the lame way to play, but I always felt like it rewards a skilled player. And I feel like the views on snaking these days would probably be kind of different than they were back then. Because like you play to win when you're playing competitively, and if the game isn't balanced properly or it rewards a particular type of playstyle, like it's really on the game developers to fix that, right? And obviously in later titles they did, you know, patch. Or they make snaking a lot worse. Like Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, I know, doesn't have a snaking problem, so to speak. I know you can do snaking in that game, but it's just not such an issue. And ultimately, at the end of the day, it's mostly the casuals who will complain about stuff like snaking, because they want to be able to win with their items and luck and whatever. And you know, I get that. Like, item play is an important part of Mario Kart as well. And the RNG can be fun. But sometimes you just want to play a game and have the better player win, you know? At least that's kind of how I feel about it. But then maybe that game shouldn't be a Mario Kart game. I don't know. Like, if you go too far in that direction, then you just end up with like a racing sim, like iRacing or whatever. Or maybe like Trackmania is like the best balance. Like, Trackmania has some pretty silly stuff in it, but also, you know, doesn't have like the crazy RNG elements. Although, mind you, I don't know that much about Trackmania. The only thing I know about it is, haha, funny nose bugs. I don't actually play Trackmania, obviously. I don't really... Thinking about it, I don't really play a lot of racing games. I used to enjoy... Like, back when I was really young, I would enjoy playing stuff like Need for Speed, like old Need for Speed games. Oh no, it didn't work? Why? Usually that works. Okay, so this is weird. I don't know if it's a glitch, but you can like place 3 bananas when you're standing still, and sometimes it lets you sit inside of a banana, which basically makes you invincible for like 1 hit, because if someone tries to hit you, it just hits the banana instead, because the banana hitboxes. I was trying to recreate that here, but that didn't work this time. I think it might be because I was holding A, B at the same time still. But yeah, that's like a really kind of cool thing that you can do in this game. Or maybe not cool, but like kind of an interesting interaction. Anyway, yeah, I used to play like Need for Speed on like the PC, like way back in the day, early 2000s. And I'd also play this game called Midtown Madness, and I would just do like the free roam mode. I just drive around like San Francisco and just kind of explore. That game was actually really fun. It's just kind of fun to drive around and explore stuff, and then avoid like the cops. Like the cops would chase after you, or like you could even like ram into the cops to a point where they could you could damage the cars to a point where they would stop being able to even follow you, and you could like push them around into like the water and stuff. Like that was a fun game. But I never really played like the campaign. I never played like I know they had like a mode, sort of like a campaign mode, where you could like unlock cars by doing like races where you had to like drive through certain checkpoints in certain areas. I'm sure that was pretty cool too, but I just really like the free roam mode. Oh, Peach just killed Mario. But yeah, another, I guess, speaking of like older games that I used to play, I actually, my first Call of Duty game was actually Call of Duty 2. Like, not Modern Warfare 2, just Call of Duty 2 on like the PC, way back in the day. And I thought that was really fun. It was a World War II shooter, of course, because that's what a lot of those shooters were back then. Yeah, I had a lot of fun playing Call of Duty 2, the original, and that was way before Call of Duty like blew up and became this like almost like a meme. Right, like there are people who really like hate Call of Duty because it's too popular or whatever. But I always actually kind of enjoyed Call of Duty, even like the more modern titles like Modern Warfare. I stopped playing once they started like, I don't know, reimagining them or whatever. I don't know. I don't really understand what's going on with Call of Duty anymore these days. I know that they try to do like, is it yearly releases or like once every other year or something? I don't know, but I know that they released, or like they didn't. I don't even know what you call it. Like they, is it a remaster, reimagining of Call of Duty Modern Warfare 1 and 2? I don't know. To me, that was just kind of weird. Or maybe I'll just borrow a terminology from from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I'll say that the new Call of Duty games are like the Steel Ball Run universe of Call of Duty. I think that's the best way I can describe it. But yeah, I haven't played a Call of Duty game in a while. I remember playing World at War though a lot. I played it on the Wii, which is probably the worst way you could possibly play that game. But I still had fun with it. It was a fun game. I would play that like every day at lunchtime. That was like back in high school. I actually got kind of good at it too, like playing on the Wii with the crazy latency where you had to like shoot like 6 inches in front of every target to hit them. It was super weird the way that they did hit detection in that game. I guess because the Nintendo Online was just not good or something. I don't know. Like Nintendo Online has never been good. People complain about Nintendo Online now, but like man, Nintendo Online has been bad for like ages. But I got used to it. And I actually, like, I remember a match where I went like 43-3 with a sniper rifle in those awful latency conditions. I didn't even have host in that room. It was crazy. I got dogs like 3 times that round. It was a ton of fun. Oh god, am I gonna die? No. No, no, no. That's the risk that you run staying near the edge like this. Because you can combo people off the edge, but they can combo you off the edge. So if you don't have 3 balloons, you're actually in danger at all times, pretty much. Like, that can just happen. I'm lucky that I didn't die from it. Because they can even kill you at 3 balloons. I've had that happen before, where someone hit me with a red shell, mushroomed me, and stole a balloon, and knocked me off the cliff all in one, like, fell swoop. I was just... I was, you know, sitting there thinking, I'm fine, and then the next moment, I was dead. So, yeah. Very risky to play on the edge. I don't know why I do this. It's probably not the optimal strategy, but I like... I want to have fun, you know? When I play games, I want to have fun. And this is fun. Like, it's fun to do that to Donkey Kong and just, like, kill him completely. Oh god, I hate that fail-safe mechanism where, like, if the CPU gets stuck against a wall for X number of seconds, they just automatically get a free reset. Never liked that mechanic. Yeah, this game has a lot of, like, fail-safes and stuff because they just didn't know how to program the AI properly for this mode. I have a feeling they didn't put a lot of time or effort into the AI for the battle mode, sadly. But maybe that's the only reason why I feel this challenge is even possible. Because you can exploit all the weird quirks and bugs of the AI. Yeah, another thing that I would do when I was playing Call of Duty on the Wii was... Oh, nice instant kill. Was I had like a secondary account, and I called it Time Bomb. And what I would do is I would just run around cooking grenades, and then I'd run close to enemies and just explode. My win condition was to try to win just by doing that. And then sometimes I'd just do that if I was feeling salty after a match or I just wanted to BM. It was just a lot of fun because the game never punishes you really for doing that. Like, you don't lose points. The enemy doesn't get points. And if they shoot you a little bit and then you blow up yourself, they don't get any points for that. So it was very abusable. And it led to some pretty funny scenarios sometimes. And of course my loadout had to have noob tubes in it as well. I had to use the grenade launchers because I was trying to be as BM as possible. But it was fun. But yeah, I never played any of the Call of Duty multiplayer games like on PC. Actually, I don't play a lot of multiplayer games on PC because a lot of them have like voice chat and stuff like that, and I don't really want to listen to like 8-year-olds screaming slurs on a microphone or whatever. I don't know. I never really was interested in playing online games that have like voice chat and stuff like that. I'm, I guess, kind of a shy person and don't really want to like socialize with gamers, especially sweaty ones. Trying to get a kill here. There we go. But I will say there was I had a friend in elementary school who was really into a few games. He was into RuneScape. I never played RuneScape because I was more of a MapleStory kid. Back in the day, that is one game I played online quite extensively and did play with randoms, and I had a lot of fun there. But yeah, he used to like old school RuneScape. What else did he play? He played Soldier Front, and he would also play what's that game called? League of Legends. Yeah, when League first came out, basically. He was super into League. And he was like my best friend at the time, and so he did actually manage to convince me to play both Soldier Front and League. And I did actually have a couple of friends who played Soldier Front at the time, but I don't know, every time I would try to play the game, they weren't on, and then I'd get owned, and then I would rage quit. I'd be like, no, I don't want to play, because people were getting really mad at me. Especially because I didn't know how to do stuff like K-walking or whatever. Like, there was this like technique where you could repeatedly spam crouch, and it obviously wasn't originally an intended mechanic by the developers, but if you repeatedly spammed crouch, people couldn't hear your footsteps. And like, I'm not much of like a hardcore FPS gamer or anything. I don't have like a gaming setup. I don't have like the long big mouse pad. I don't like listen to the audio with like my fancy headphones or whatever. I don't have fancy headphones to, you know, listen to the audio with and listen for like footsteps or whatever. Like that kind of stuff never really like, I don't know, it didn't really occur to me. I didn't really care. I wasn't that sweaty, I guess, of a gamer. Like the sweatiest I ever got playing a game was, I guess, playing Smash Brothers Melee. Because I remember when I played Melee, I pretty much beat like everybody that I played against back then. Not that I was actually any good at the game, like I didn't even know how to wave dash, but like all my friends in high school were just not really that hardcore. There are some people who were like a little more competitive, but I mean, they would give me some pretty close matches, but I still beat them. And I was just playing Mewtwo, who is one of like the lowest tier characters in the game. But you know, at low level play, I guess that doesn't really matter that much. And like eventually, I did learn how to do like short hop, fast fall lasers, but yeah, I eventually switched to maining Falco because I found him more fun. Eventually, but I did main Mewtwo for like a long time. Back in high school when I was like winning every game. And yeah, what I kind of realized at the time was that I didn't really care to play the game too competitively or get really sweaty with it because I was like, well, there's no money to be made doing this sort of thing. Like this, you can't get a job playing games competitively like this. Well, of course, back then, you know, esports weren't really a thing at all, and even now, you know, it's questionable. But yeah, I just kind of realized like beating everybody up was not really that, like, I don't know. It felt kind of meaningless after a while. I was just kind of like, oh. So I kind of stopped being sweaty about games. But yeah, I was never sweaty over Soldier Front. And League, I had a similar experience. I tried League for like one game. People got mad at me for feeding, and then I quit. And then I never played it again, so yeah, I don't play MOBAs. I just like to play good old-fashioned single-player retro games, I guess. Or we'll play like a good couch co-op or whatever, like... I guess maybe sort of a hot take, but I really enjoyed playing like New Super Mario Brothers. Especially like multiplayer. Even on the DS, that was fun. I don't think New Super Mario Brothers was a bad game, for any of those games, other than maybe 2 were really bad. 2 is the only one that I could see being considered like kind of bad. It was better than I thought, but yeah, I can totally see why people wouldn't be that interested in that game. I thought the other games are fine. Like the level design may have been not as difficult as like older titles, maybe. Like some of the early game levels were more bland, but I thought generally I like the star coins system. I like that you could like buy stuff with them, like you could actually like use them for stuff. Oh, that was like a neat little addition. I just got comboed! I wasn't paying any attention! What? There's no way I should be losing one-on-ones like that. Oh my god, really? Did I really just choke like that? Okay, well it's not a PB, so I don't have to update the PB or anything, but that sucks. That was going so well, and then I got lazy. I forgot to check inventories. That's like the #1 reason why I lose runs, is I forget to look at inventories and I don't notice when someone has like a death combo and they're gonna kill me. And then they just kill me. Cause like, in a one-on-one, I should be able to easily win because the AI is stupid, so I naturally have an advantage. I should never lose a one-on-one. That was just sloppy. That was just me being lazy. Oh well. But yeah, anyway. I already forgot what I was talking about. It's not New Super Mario Brothers. Yeah, I know a lot of people hate New Super Mario Brothers and they think it really sucks, but like, I don't know, I actually thought they were pretty fun. Maybe kind of a hot take, but I actually liked the New Super Mario Brothers series. And I like that, you know, they gave you more tools to work with. Like you had like, I don't know if you had a triple jump. I think you did. You did have a triple jump. And you had like wall kicks. Like you had more of the kind of movement options that 3D Mario games generally tend to have. And I thought that was cool that they like brought those into like a 2D setting. Obviously, like, not every level really made good use of those mechanics, but like, now we have stuff like Mario Maker where people can actually make like some pretty tough levels with that stuff in mind. I thought that having those extra mechanics and the mid-air twirl kind of made the game more interesting. Like, I thought those were good additions. I'm kind of glad that it looks like Mario Wonder is going to have more of that kind of thing. So yeah, definitely excited to see how that goes. Like, I know a lot of people are saying like, oh, Mario Wonder looks like what Mario or New Soup should have been, and like maybe like visually I can say like, yeah, okay, New Soup maybe didn't look the best. Maybe it wasn't what everybody was looking for. Maybe it looked a little bit soulless and bland, but I thought gameplay wise, I thought it was fun. And ultimately, isn't that all that really matters? Like, the game should be fun. Otherwise, what's the point? Like, I was watching a video essay that was talking about how insulting new Paper Mario games are. And while I kind of agreed, like, I prefer Bug Fables. I really liked Bug Fables a lot. And I prefer Paper Mario 64 and TTYD over the newer games. I even enjoyed Super Paper Mario as well. But yeah, I haven't bought any of the newer Paper Mario games because they just weren't really my cup of tea. And yeah, I totally get where they're coming from with their stance, but when they started talking about how New Super Mario Brothers was like, you know, when they started to make the series soulless and bland and like bad, I was kind of like, well, at least, like, you can make the comparison there for sure, but at least New Super Mario Bros. Was fun. Which is more than I could say about stuff like, I don't know, like Sticker Star. Yeah, that's just kind of my opinion on it. Maybe I'm not really at liberty to talk about Sticker Star because, you know, I never played it, but I don't know. When I saw the gameplay footage of it, and heard about it, it just didn't sound like something that would be fun to me. And then I later watched a playthrough of it, and I don't know, it pretty much kind of confirmed my thoughts on the game. It just was kind of bland. I mean, I guess there was some like charm in some of the writing, and the visuals are, you know, nice, I guess, with like the paper aesthetic, but overall they kind of like made everything samey. It all kind of became very homogenized. They kind of took a lot of the personality and flavor out of the games. They got rid of like the fun, like RPG mechanics that really involved like strategy. Like I liked badges in particular. Like I think the badge system is the thing that really makes Paper Mario fun for me. Is like being able to like create your own builds with like badges and stuff. Like having those kinds of options are, I don't know, it's generally kind of a thing that I enjoy in a lot of my favorite games. Like some of my favorite games are like Mega Man Battle Network. I like being able to build your own like deck there. You know, you get enemy abilities and you can kind of like customize your build based on what enemy abilities you know pick up, which is cool. Same with like Castlevania. I liked Aria of Sorrow and Dawn of Sorrow the most, and Bloodstained. I think it was Bloodstained Ritual of the Night, the one that's similar to like Symphony of the Night. Like those games are the ones that I really enjoyed because, you know, you had the soul system. I really like the soul system, even if it is kind of overpowered. It was really fun to play with. And I still prefer Dawn of Sorrow over Portrait of Ruin, even though I really like Portrait of Ruin. I think Portrait of Ruin is better balanced as a game overall. And also had like the Nest of Evil, which is really cool and fun. But there's also some stuff in Portrait of Ruin. Actually, I think it might also have been in Dawn of Sorrow as well. I don't know. But there was some stuff like the cave trolls insta-killing you by like comboing you to death like super duper fast that kind of took me off guard, and I was like, what the heck? Like, how did that happen? Why am I dead? Like, I'm sure that was intended by the developers as sort of like a haha gotcha, but yeah, I never really appreciated like instant death in games like that. But yeah, Portrait of Ruin was a fun Castlevania title. I just preferred Aria of Sorrow and Dawn of Sorrow a little bit more. So yeah, I guess that's the kind of games that I like. That's kind of why if I were to make like a Mario Kart DS Battle Mode clone, I would want to have customizability in terms of builds by having it be like a deck builder or something. I think that would be cool. So yeah, that was a big reason why I liked TTYD and Paper Mario 64 a lot. I just felt like mechanically they were actually just more fun, period. And that's all I really care about is, am I having fun with the game? Oh yeah, that's another way you can get insta-kills on this map, is you use a mushroom to push them off the edge. That's a fast way of getting kills on this map in particular. They also don't have enough time to blow up another balloon when that happens, unlike on Twilight House, where if you mushroom them off the edge, they usually blow up a balloon before they fall into the pit. So you get 2 damage on them, but you can't like insta-kill usually. On this map you can actually insta-kill, and I've had some pretty fast rounds on this map playing aggressively, but usually playing aggressively gets me killed, so I don't do it. Like, I try not to play aggressively on this map, usually. I'm being a little bit reckless right now. If I really focus up, I can play a lot better, but I don't know. I'm just kind of playing today so I can de-stress from work. And just chat about random stuff that I want to chat about. Because, why not? Wait, they stole my triples! Really? Okay, as long as I got defensive, I'm good. Okay, that's fine. He missed. I gotta kill Mario. He's kind of becoming a problem. Dang it. Okay, actually that hit. He turned. That's good. I was a little bit afraid that he'd block the shot. That's not a defensive item at all. I think there's some interesting trade-offs between fake item box and the banana. I think the banana overall is a better item, but I mean, fake item has its moments. Like, the fact that it can't be destroyed simply by shooting it with a shell means that it's a more like permanent trap. It's easier to like lay them down and actually have them hit somebody eventually. We gotta kill Wario. He's a threat. I guess we'll kill Toad. Yeah, we'll kill Toad. I will kill DK next. Actually, he's the only one left, so yeah. Okay, he should be dead if I play my cards right. Well, he had a lot of health left, huh? Okay, he only got hit once. Dang. That's crazy. Alright, I'm probably gonna end stream soonish. I'm a little bit sad I didn't manage to get a good run going today. And I threw the other run, but I don't know. Today I wasn't really playing optimally. It's been a while since I played. I'm out of practice. And I am just kind of, you know, chatting mostly, so... It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Nice. Always let one of the CPUs hit themselves. Yeah, so another kind of broken spot on this map is right here. If you just stand slightly to the side of this item box here. Not directly in line with it, but yeah, if a CPU is dragging a shell behind them, and or not even just a shell, like any item, and they go through one of the lower pipes onto the upper floor, they will always drive towards you into the middle and release their item. So it's a good way of making sure that they release their red shells, which makes them generally, you know, less harmful. And also usually ends up hurting another CPU in the process, so yes. It's pretty good. This is a really good spot. And the only two places where CPUs can actually like attack you from are these two ramps. So if you want to be extra safe, you can throw in some banana peels to like guard yourself here, or you can like trap the ramps, which is something that I've done before. And that works pretty well. But if you're just, you know, using like a triple green shell shield like I am here, then you can just kind of sit here and it'll just kind of play itself out. Don't have to worry about it too much. Trying to get Toad there, but just didn't quite manage to hit him. Yeah, when you're on like one shell, it's usually worth it to just throw away the shield. It's not worth it, especially if it's a green shell one, because green shells are just not that good. Green shells are probably one of the worst items in the game. Just because you have to have really good aim with them, or good luck with ricochets to actually be able to land a hit with them. I just find them pretty underwhelming. I wouldn't say they're the worst item in the game, because they are good defensively, but they're pretty low down on my list. I think that the bomb and the blooper and fake item box are the items that are probably like a solid tier below the green shell. Or maybe fake item is in the same tier as green shell, I'm not sure. Didn't manage to get the hit there. Oh jeez. No! I saw the bomb below me and for some reason I drove directly on top of it as if I wanted to just like prove that, hey, you can get hit from below on this map. That's right, that's the third way that enemies can attack you while you're up here, is they can use a bomb to hit you from below. I guess that's what I get for saying that the bomb is bad, huh? I do genuinely think that the bomb is really bad, because it lobs in an arc. You can't really use it defensively without risking hurting yourself. It's very hard to actually land hits with it. I mean, when you do, it does put enemies in hit stun for a very long time, which sets up very nicely for combos, but like that's very situational. Like it's if you manage to hit with it, then you have a very easy combo starter. But if you don't manage to hit it, then you basically have nothing. So, you know, like, is that good? I don't know. Like situationally, it can be really good. Sometimes you can get like super huge combos. Like that time when I landed a bomb and I managed to take out 3 CPUs all at once within like the first 20 seconds of a game. Like, is that incredible value? Like, absolutely. Does that happen most games though? No. Like, I've only ever had that happen once ever. So, like, I would never rely on that. Which is why I usually just kind of throw bombs away. I don't find them to be super helpful. And like fake items, the reason why I don't put them very high, like I put them below bananas, and that's because you can't use them defensively. Like they're good as traps, but they're not good defensively. You can't set up like a wall of bananas and like block attacks. You know, you can't like build like a little fort of bananas with or, like you can't really build like a fort of fake items. Sorry, I mean. You can build a fort of bananas. You can't build a fort of fake items. And that's why the banana peel is, in my opinion, a solid tier above the fake item. I feel like I'm already starting to make a tier list right now. I don't really want to do that though. I'm not gonna do live tier list creation. Speaking of bombs. There we go. There's a good usage of the bomb as an opener on this map. You get a little bit of damage. Oh, I should have waited. If I had held off slightly longer, I would have gotten the combo. But I didn't. Should I go for Yoshi here? I think I will. I do lose all 3 of my bananas, but hey, it brings them down to 1. That's pretty nice. I can finish him off actually. Yeah, there we go. Thankfully the CPUs are dumb and they'll drive into your items when you drag them behind you, which kind of makes the draggables a little bit better than they otherwise would be. I feel like against human players, obviously, they'd be probably significantly worse. Like, at least bananas still give you defensive value, but you would probably not be able to actually like go on the offense with them by trying to drag them directly in front of your opponents. Or at least it wouldn't be as easy to do that. Dang. Kind of hoping I could land that, but it wouldn't have mattered anyway because she has 3 balloons anyway. It wouldn't have been an instant kill. Oh right, yeah, I want to talk a little bit more about my experience with Tears of the Kingdom. So, sorry to like jump back and forth between topics like this. It's just kind of how my brain works, I guess. But my experience was definitely not what the developers intended. Like, I'm sure other people went through this as well, like people who were just kind of exploring, but um, so like when I started the game, like obviously I went through the tutorial like everyone else did, but like one of the first things that I found was the Earthquake manual. Like I actually I wanted to go to Terrytown. That's one of like the first things I did. Actually no, the first thing I actually did was I went straight to Hyrule Castle because I wanted to explore Hyrule Castle and see what it was like. I didn't go up to like the actual floating part of Hyrule Castle. I explored like the lower part and I got like the Royal Guard shirt or whatever. And I got the Hylian shield right away. So that was like one of the first shields I got, and that was the only shield that I really used for like the rest of the game because it had so much durability. So yeah, like it was kind of crazy. I wasn't expecting to get the Hylian shield that early because I wasn't expecting the Hylian shield to just be where it was, like where you had to light that torch. Like I thought it'd be a shrine, just like Breath of the Wild, because that's where a shrine is. But no, instead of a shrine, it's just, here you go, Hylian shield. So I just had like the best shield in the game for like most of the game. But yeah, after that, I wanted to go to Terrytown, and when I went to Terrytown, I decided to drop by, you know, the Akala Tech Lab. And then that's when I encountered the Yiga clan people there. And so, dang it, that backwards momentum screwed me. I could have gotten an insta-kill right there. Really wanted it. But yeah, like I found the Yiga outfit first. Like I saw the map, I knew immediately what to do with it. I knew immediately that it was marking the locations of all the Yiga hideouts and where the rest of the outfit would be. So I got the outfit pretty early on. And I pretty much beelined for Gerudo Desert so I could see what was going on at the Yiga hideout. And I like what they did with the Yiga hideout in this game, in Tears of the Kingdom. I felt like it was kind of cool to actually be able to like explore it as like a Yiga clan member, and like it wasn't like a stealth segment or anything like that. You could like buy stuff there, and yeah, I got the Earthquake manual pretty early as a result. Which was pretty cool because I like having, I like the idea of having a weapon like that you can just use infinitely. Like that was kind of one of the things that I really wanted in this game, was a weapon that you could use with infinite durability, which is why I considered doing the Master Sword smuggling glitch. It's unfortunate that it's a bit weak, but I still ended up using it even in the late game. Mostly just for fun, not because it was super practical or anything. But you can actually juggle like silver enemies with it, like even silver moblins. You can juggle them, and they become pretty much a non-issue, especially when you have the sages backing you up and like whacking stuff. So yeah, I still managed to find use for it whenever I wanted to like save on resources and the Master Sword wasn't ready. Speaking of, let me think. What was the first thing I did? Did I get Minoru first, or did I get the Master Sword first? I think I got the Master Sword first. I'm pretty sure I got the Master Sword first. I was exploring the Sky Islands, and I know there's like this Sky Forge place. It's pretty high up, and I really wanted to explore it because it just seemed really cool. It was like super high up. It was higher than most other Sky Islands on the map. So I just really wanted to check it out and see what was up with it. And at first I was actually pretty disappointed with it, because like you dive through a bunch of lasers, and what's your reward at the end? Oh, it's just a shrine. Later on I realized that I actually missed a part of the Zonai armor there. I didn't realize that they had armor hidden away there, because, you know, I didn't have like the treasure sensor at all. I didn't have the Sheikah sensor, period, at that point. But yeah, I just wanted to explore the Sky Islands. That was like one of my goals early game, was to explore the sky, because I thought it was cool. I like the vibe of the Sky Islands, so I went for them straight away. And since that island in particular is so high up, the light dragon flew by, and so I was like, oh cool, I'll just go check out the light dragon and see what's up with the light dragon. So the reason why I want to check out the light dragon is because I had actually I actually went to Hateno Village at some point. I don't remember exactly when. It was also pretty early game. But I went to Hateno Village and I got the quest to get the Champion's Leathers. And I did get the Champion's Leathers pretty early. I wanted to get the like not as early as like the Earthquake Manual and stuff and the Hylian Shield. Like I got that stuff like right away. But like a little bit later, after I went to Terrytown, I went to Hateno Village, and then I went to actually explore Sky Islands, and part of that was exploring Hyrule Castle in the sky and getting the Champion's Leathers. So I got the Champion's Leathers, and then I tried to upgrade them, and then I realized I needed Light Dragon parts, and so I wanted to harvest parts from the Light Dragon. I thought it'd just be like any other dragon. But it turns out that no. It had a Master Sword in its head. And I was so confused. Like, you can already like imagine. There are other people with similar reactions out there, but like I just went up there. I saw the Master Sword. I had enough stamina wheels to pull it by sheer chance. I barely had enough, and so I pulled it. And then I got the cutscene with like Zelda, you know, talking to you in like in like the heavens or whatever, and I was just so confused. I was like, what? I was like, why is this here? What's going on? Why is Zelda talking to me? Where'd all this come from? Why is she talking to me like I'm ready for the end of the game when I've literally like only barely started? And so then after I got the Master Sword, I decided, okay, I need to know what's going on. So I went to go for all the Dragon's Tears. And I very quickly figured out, like pretty much as soon as Minoru mentioned Draconification, I figured out that the Light Dragon was Zelda. So I knew that plot twist like pretty early on. I guess not really much of a plot twist. Like they give you so many hints about that. Like not just the Draconification mention, but you know, there's one where she later says like I'll lose like my body, my mind, and everything. Right? So I don't know. They do hint at it like multiple times before they actually show you that scene. But yeah, I got the. Oh, I'm dead. Cool, thanks. Playing risky near the edge. Sucks. Man, I'm just not having it today. But yeah, anyway. I'm probably gonna end stream soon, but I just want to talk a little bit more about Tears of the Kingdom. So yeah. I basically got the Master Sword. Just by sheer happenstance from exploration. And then, since I was also still exploring Sky Islands, I went from the Forge Island in the sky to the Dragon Head Isle because I wanted to explore that Thunderhead. I was like, ooh, like, the Farron region felt really underutilized in Breath of the Wild. Like, there wasn't a dungeon there or anything. So I was like, I wonder if they did more with it. And at first I was kind of disappointed that they didn't do much more with it, at least on the ground. So I wanted to explore the sky above it. And I actually navigated the Thunderhead Isles and the Dragonhead Isle completely, well, not blind, but like with the fog, like with the dense fog, and I could like barely see anything. Like the way that I navigated was I would take out a couple of springs, hit them, and then it would launch me high enough that I could get out of the fog long enough to actually like see the ground. So that was kind of my way of navigating the Sky Islands. Or at least navigating those particular islands. And then I got to the big door, and then I tried to push it open and I died, which was really funny because I didn't have enough hearts. But yeah, once I saw the big door, I was just like, oh, this seems pretty major. But it wasn't in like my main quest, so I was like, ooh, this is really cool. What is this? And I really wanted to figure out what it was, so I, naturally I went around and hunted for some shrines, and then I got enough hearts, and then I went to the spirit temple, and I got Minoru as my first sage. So yeah, it felt very out of order. One thing I will say about Minoru is that she leaves. She gives a very bad first impression. Like, they throw you into a situation where you're fighting like pretty tough enemies. Like you're fighting like black and like silver bokoblins and stuff. At least like at the point that I was at, I'd already killed like a Lionel or two at that point, so enemies scaled very quickly. I didn't realize how enemy scaling worked in this game. It's a little bit different from Breath of the Wild from what I heard. But yeah, enemies scaled very, very fast for me. And so when I went there, I was like, okay, cool, let's try out this cool new like mecha that I just got. And they immediately throw you into a situation where like Minoru just doesn't do very much damage to the enemies and struggles to actually like kill anything, and you're super vulnerable because like because Minoru becomes like your entire hurt box. So like most people I find end up abandoning the idea of using Minoru, like trying to stay on Minoru and use like the Zonai devices and stuff to actually like attack and kill enemies just doesn't really work, because I don't know, I feel like Nintendo kind of dropped the ball with that. Like they just didn't. I feel like you should always, when you're giving a player a new ability, you should always put them in a situation where they can immediately feel like that ability is useful and cool, and that way they'll actually want to use it. And Minoru is just an ability where it's just like, oh, here's something that immediately feels useless. So I feel like they dropped the ball with that. But I will say, I did, since Minoru was my only sage at that time, I did end up using her quite a lot, and I found some uses for her, like, getting free bullet time whenever I wanted. I found that the shield, like the guard, was actually pretty good. And I would also use Minoru for mining. Like, anytime I'd come across like a boulder or a rock, I'd just, attach one of them to her arms, and then she'd become like a mining robot. I did similar thing with like gloom weapons. Like, I eventually, like, my inventory would get very full of weapons that are pretty strong, and I wouldn't want to waste them. So I was like, okay, instead of throwing out a weapon, why don't I just give Minoru one of the gloom weapons, and she doesn't get penalized for using gloom weapons. So yeah, I don't know, I ended up using Minoru for a lot more than I thought I would. And of course, walking through like bottomless bogs and walking through lava made Minoru pretty useful as well. So yeah, I did actually get quite a bit of value out of Minoru at the end of the day. But she gives you such a terrible first impression. I feel like she could have been better, like, combat-wise. I wish that they had made her at least a little bit stronger. Because even with the Sage's Wills upgrade, she still feels pretty underwhelming unless you use like a frost emitter to like freeze enemies and get like a triple damage hit. after that. Like, there are some things that you can use with Minner to make her more useful, but yeah. Also, the back items, I feel... I don't know, the back items are really underwhelming. Like, the only good back item is the fan, because the speed boost is nice. Like, the rocket is one-time use, which sucks. You can attach like a hover stone or like a wing to Minner's back to like descend slower, but like why would you want to do that when you literally have a paraglider for that exact purpose? Like I thought it was just kind of dumb. But yeah, I don't know. Actually, you know, since I'm still chatting, maybe I'll play another round. We'll start up another round. Why not? But yeah, so Minoru was my first sage. Second sage, ended up being Sidon. Actually, I guess it's kind of weird. Like, I find the Zelda series has a lot of names that are hard to pronounce. Like, is it Kaku or Kako or Kuko, right? And Sidon is one of those ones where it's like, is it Sidon or is it Sidon? Like, I assume it's Sidon, but lately I've been kind of defaulting to looking at the Japanese pronunciations for things. And it's kind of interesting to see what they call things like Kako is actually like Koko, and Sidon is actually like Shido, which is kind of interesting. I can't claim like I know Japanese or anything, but I at least kind of know what the kana sound like phonetically, so I kind of know how you're supposed to pronounce things. And I feel like it's nice to be able to have that. But anyway, that's sort of like an aside. My first stage was Sidon. I found him super underwhelming at first. I now know that he's actually better than I gave him credit for. Like, you can use him to like boost Zoro weapons, and it gives you like a damp status for like a full minute and a half or something like that, which is crazy with the light scale trident. I didn't know that. It's not obvious. So yeah, I did end up using him for like fighting silver Lionels and stuff, like post game, like after I beat the game and I was ready to look up stuff. But otherwise, yeah, he kind of was the most useless sage for me. I upgraded him last. I think second sage I got was Riju. I like the entire Gerudo quest line. I liked the Lightning Temple. It kind of reminded me of Ocarina of Time. Like the Spirit Temple. I thought that was cool. I do still miss the traditional Zelda dungeon format, but I thought that was like a cool nod to Ocarina of Time at least. At first I thought Riju's ability would be super fun to use. Like, I thought, oh cool, like this ability lets me like summon lightning wherever I shoot an arrow. This would be like a strong like sniping tool. Like if I'm ever like far away from an enemy and I want to like snipe them at a distance with like my Zonite bow, I can just like hit them for like a lot of damage from a distance. But then I realized that it has a pretty limited range, and the charge up time is pretty slow. So I ended up not using it that much. And instead I only use it for breaking rocks on like ceilings and stuff without having to waste bomb arrows. I think that was my one purpose for using Riju, was breaking rocks in awkward places. So yeah, my third stage after that was Tulin. I kind of regret not getting Tulin earlier. I should have realized that he'd have a good ability because, I mean, Rivali had a really good ability that was useful utility-wise. Tulin's ability, I wish it was vertical, but the horizontal boost is nice. I will say I do appreciate having a horizontal boost, and I find that Tulin was probably the most useful stage just because I find myself constantly spamming his ability when I'm paragliding, and you know, paragliding is a thing that you just do in this game, like, a lot. It just happens. Paragliding happens, and it's nice to just be able to have like a free speed boost, you know? So I found him to be my most used sage, by far. And you know, the headshots are nice. So yeah, Yunobo was my last sage, and Yunobo's kind of interesting. At first I thought he was like really good. I would consider him like the second best sage. I still do, but I have some gripes about him. But like at first, I was like, this guy's really cool because he can break rocks for me, which is nice. He can break armor. He can burn things. I can kind of use him at a distance. He's like an aimable like projectile that doesn't cost anything, and I still use him for that purpose. But what I didn't know about him is that he actually like weighs down your Zonai vehicles. I found that out the hard way. Because he had, like, I was trying to build like electric vehicles using the motors and the propeller from the Gemimic shrine. I don't know how you're supposed to pronounce it. Whatever. But like that shrine has like a propeller that is powered through electricity, right? So I was trying to build a vehicle with that, and then Yunobo would just like weigh it down and send it like crashing down, and yeah. And then I realized that Yunobo's not that great after all. But first impressions wise, he had a pretty decent first impression. I actually liked him a lot. Ability wise, not as a sage or as a character. I don't really care about him as a character. I always thought he was, I don't know, too wimpy to be like a sage. Never really liked his character. But yeah, of course, after that, you know, there wasn't really much left, so I did the Hyrule Castle thing with, you know, chasing around Phantom Ganon, and then decided to end it by beating Ganondorf, and that was pretty much my my Tears of the Kingdom experience. So yeah, my current state right now with the game is, you know, obviously I've beaten the game. After that, I did all of the shrines, because I was like, the shrines are at least, you know, they're probably the most interesting aspect of the game. You know, outside like the main quest stuff. So I did the shrines. And that was cool. Really? Bruh. I just wanted that instant kill, and to heal up. Cool. But yeah, I did the shrines, I got the reward for that, which is... I was just like, wow, I get to be a furry, great. Well, fantastic. No, like, it was, I don't know, I was like, it's at least a unique reward, but I was super underwhelmed by it, especially because you have to do all the shrines, and then they give you an armor set that isn't even better than any of the other armor sets in the game. Like, it doesn't even have any aspect that is, you know, stronger, which was disappointing. Because all the other, like, there are other armor sets in the game that give you more defense, or they give you like an attack boost or something. That thing doesn't even give you that, so I was just like, wow. Kind of underwhelming. Though I guess it's convenient because you only have to put on like one piece of armor as opposed to like three, but I still think that it's an underwhelming reward, and I wish that Nintendo would reward completionists a little bit better. Like, give us like something cool and fun to play with. This is a game, I can't remember which one it was, where, I don't know, I can't remember off the top of my head, but this game that gave you like really cool, fun, like post-game rewards for like completion and I mean, there's several games like that. I just wish Nintendo would do something like that. Like, give us like a fun completion reward, you know? But yeah, after Shrines, I did all light routes, of course, because I made the connection that Shrines and light routes are, you know, connected. It took me an embarrassingly long time to realize that connection. I read the Robbie journal about that stuff early on as well, but I didn't really make the connection at the time. I don't know. It didn't really occur to me. It only started to occur to me after like the Koga battle, the final Koga battle, where I don't remember. No, it was there's like a steward construct who tells you about how there's a connection between stuff on the surface and stuff in the depths. That's when I started to realize what was going on. And that's when the depths became kind of cool and not like, I don't know, the depths always felt kind of like empty to me, and like while it had like neat geometry, it wasn't really like that interesting. But then once I realized that it was just like a mirror of like the surface world, I was like, okay, that's actually kind of neat. Still wish it had more stuff, but like, you know, I appreciate what they were going for at least. What else? Yeah, so I'm currently at a state where I need to kill all the mini bosses. I already did all the side quests. All the side quests and side adventures and stuff are done. That's not an issue anymore. I have to do armor upgrades. That's probably the last thing I'm gonna do. They made the armor upgrades so expensive in this game, especially without duping glitches. Like, how are you supposed to get enough rupees for all this stuff? Like, I don't know. I feel like you need to spend every last rupee you get on upgrades. It's kind of crazy. I'm at least at a point where I have enough of some of the dragon parts where I can actually start selling them, because I don't need them anymore for the upgrades, but yeesh. Like, the requirements just feel so much more expensive than Breath of the Wild's. And I did 4-star all my armor upgrades in Breath of the Wild as well. I guess it doesn't help that there's more armor sets in this game. Yeah, I've killed all the Gleeoks, so I have the Gleeok medal. I killed all the Moldigas. I have that medal. I killed all the Flux constructs. I have that medal. So I have half the medals. I'm still missing all the Proxes and Taluses. And I forget what the last mini boss is. Keenox, Hinox. I should probably look up the pronunciation for that one. What's the correct pronunciation? What's the Japanese pronunciation? What's the canonical pronunciation? None of these nonsense, ambiguous English names. The reason why I didn't attack there is because I'm going for an instant kill here. Like this. There we go. Dang, I missed. Ooh, I should have held on to that. I regret it. No, I was going for I wanted the heal. Man, slightly too late. I'm going for the heal. Oh, are you kidding? Okay. At least that was a stolen balloon. kind of focusing on this one, because, well, we've already seen, I've already died like twice on this map, so. Really? Really? I probably should have just gone for Wario. I could have instantly killed him there. I didn't. What else? I'm still missing some of the Yiga schematics and like a few old maps. I have done all the Addison signs. That was kind of a pain, but yeah, I did that. I kind of wish that they were marked on the map and you didn't have to like manually mark them. I didn't realize that I had to manually mark them until like after I beat the game and done like most of the signs already, so I had to look up a map for that. I was just like, well, I'm not gonna, you know, I'm not gonna just like re-explore literally everything looking for these signs, you know. But yeah, I already intended on looking up a map for cleanup because my general rules, if I've beaten a game, I'm free to look up stuff about the game at that point, because at that point, I'm probably not going to discover anything else new on my own without just kind of blindly searching for it. So I'd like to have some direction. And for stuff like Korok seeds, where it's so easy to miss them, and they're just kind of everywhere, and there's so many of them, I feel like it just makes sense to look up the locations of Korok seeds. Like, I think that's fair. I think hardly anyone is ever gonna actually like find literally every Korok seed on their own, with no map or anything whatsoever. But yeah, anyway, I think that's gonna do it for today. I've streamed for long enough, I feel. I don't really want to talk too much longer, so yeah. Future plans for the channel, very exciting. Hopefully I'll play, I'll get to play like other games like TTYD 64 and stream them, and we'll see how that goes. I don't know when I'm gonna do that, mind you, because, you know, I still have to work a full-time job and all that. So, yeah. But that's gonna do it. I'll, yeah. I will now leave. Goodbye.